the program, but if you don't, that's good, because I'm going to do a little bit different than what's written. My name is Henry Hearns, Mayor Emeritus of the city, and I had an opportunity to be in and out of this room for 18 years and to work with many of you here in the community, and it's just really been a joy. But we've seen a lot of beautiful things that has just happened here in the last couple of years that makes everybody excited and looking forward to living here in the area called Lancaster. So let me start off by just kind of giving you the person who will do a welcome. We'll introduce all of the committee at the very end. And ladies and gentlemen, believe you me, no matter who you are or what you're doing, if you live in the city of Lancaster, we need you. We need you to help us to not only keep it moving as it is going, but we need you to be a part of it, an active part. Now, to give us an official welcome and some words, I'd like to introduce you all the way, and I hope you'll listen to the directions that I'm going to give you. First of all, he's a guy who came to the city of Lancaster not looking for any handout, but to be a person who will hand out himself. But today, I introduce to you our mayor, all the way from China, California. Mayor R.X. Perry, and he's going to give you a welcome.
Thank you for coming. You know, I love the name of this program, you know, Weed and Seed, because what we're really doing is we're growing a community. And I think the more we recognize that that's exactly what we're doing, is we are growing this community, the outcome can truly be magnificent. You know, two years ago, the weeds were so tall. Remember how tall those weeds were? They were everywhere. I remember Gary Burgess talking about how, you know, he had to get his game face on just to walk outside. Remember us talking about that? And now the weeds are finally down to the point we don't have to do that much weeding. Now we have to seed, because it's not going to do us any good whatsoever if we don't take care of the second part. You know, we got to start planting, and we got to start developing this community in ways we've never thought of doing before. The secret to growing this community really is our young people and giving them choices that make sense. Up until now, the choices have been limited. And what I really see is all of the adults in this community coming together and saying, these are our children, and we do have to give them options. And the more options we give them, the greater this community is going to grow. And that's what this is all about. And a lot of people came together to make this happen. You know, they tell me about the old days when the federal government just gave out money, you know, but I haven't seen those days. Now you got to beg and plead and work. And that's right. We have Ted Marcus from the U.S. Attorney's Office, and he was an incredible asset in getting them to see that we needed this money in order that we can present these programs. And all of you that have helped, and all of you that are going to make this a success, you have the gratitude of the city of Lancaster, and we're glad you're joining the great adventure, because that's what I really view what we're doing. It's the great adventure.
As Mayor Paris said, 2 years ago, there were a lot of issues that we were dealing with, and I was hired 2 years ago, almost 2 years ago, as the city manager. And at the time, there were so many problems, and as the mayor said, weeds going on. But the thing that I'm grateful for is that we had a council and we had a staff, and it's my inclination to solve problems no matter what the challenges are. And you have helped us do that. We're a well-managed financial city, but the reason we're well-managed is we don't overreach. We don't think government solves all problems. What we do is work in the realms where we're best as facilitators or providing resources or whatever, and we partner. We cannot grow this community without your help. It's simply impossible if a city decides, hey, we're going to fund everything and we're going to pay this, we're going to pay that, you're not going to accomplish anything. We need community involvement. We have a great leadership team on the council and in city staff that's moving this city forward, but it doesn't go anywhere without all of you. Citizen engagement is a top priority because it leads to everything else. It leads to better education. It leads to a safer community. It leads to a more interesting community. It leads to everything. That's the trick, is citizen engagement. You can see it in our neighborhood watch, in our business watches. We went a couple years ago from less than 20, I think, to almost 400 of those groups. You see it in our Criminal Justice Commission, which has brought together all of the different stakeholders in public safety so that we can truly impact public safety. It's not just law enforcement. It's the schools to make sure that kids are in school and not truant. It's the medical profession to make sure we're providing the right medical resources and then we're not keeping the deputies at the hospital too long so they can go out and do their job. But it's the community. Today we get to celebrate some of our community partners, and we're going to hear from Don in a second. But we'd really like as a city to thank Paving the Way Foundation, the Sheriff's Department, the United States Attorney's Office, the Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation, and the Drug Enforcement Administration. Just to highlight a few, that's by no means all the people in here, but these are people that have stepped up with resources, time, and have really worked to make this a success. We are so happy that we get to participate in this program and that this community is in a position where we're ready to participate in this program, and that's a key point. So with that, really thank you all for being here.
Hey, good evening. Boy, everybody stole all my thunder, everything I was going to say, all the great things. I will tell you that Janie and I stand here and we are a partnership. And this is an example of how the entire community needs to get together to, at one block at a time, make the community better, quality of life, less crime, and a great place to live. So it's all about partnerships, and we need your help. And I know that each speaker has been up here and talked that. But this is what this is about, bringing the community together. Weed and Seed, yes, there's funding attached to Weed and Seed, but primarily it's a strategy to bring the community together and with the guidance of the committees to make the city, crime-free, we hope. We really hope that we can just all look and say we live in the safest community in the whole United States. That's the goal. So, and Janie, I'm gonna stop talking and let you talk now.
Okay,
But,
we are partners in crime.
Yes, we are.
He's the weed and I'm the seed. His job is to go in and change the environment from a negative environment, and our job is to go in and bring positive resources into the community. Our job is to empower you as the residents of that community, to show you how to develop committees, to show you how to have a voice in the council, to show you how to walk the walk that makes a positive impact in your communities. We're not here to take the lead. We're here to empower you to take the lead, to take over your community, to help embrace positiveness in a community, bring safeness, bring healthy environments, bring strong, healthy children so that we can look forward to a positive place to live, play, and work. Together, we are going to do this one community, one block at a time. I don't know if you got to see our beautiful pamphlets, but please take one with you when you leave. We have some people that have really supported us. We've been working on this project for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Don and I got together, and with the help of Ms. Bolden, she'll be here to speak to you in a moment, thought about the Weed and Seed concept, and with the challenges that our community were facing a couple of years ago, like our city manager said, we got together and decided there is something that we can do. One person at a time can make a difference. When I started this, I was by myself. I'm not by myself anymore. There is a great support system behind the both of us. There's some wonderful gentlemen back there that actually do the work out in the community. We are involved with the prison, with the parole office, with the youth council, with CASA, we're just really trying to infiltrate our community to bring positiveness and to collaborate. What I've learned in this is that you can't do it one organization at a time, one church at a time, one family at a time. We have to come together and work together if we're going to make a massive impact on our community. So there is some ladies here that have done some great work. I want to just give you an idea of the website so that you can go home and research the website and see some of the things that we're doing. If you do things in your community, please let us know. We would like to support you. Put it out on our website because our Attorney General and the Department of Justice, they were watching us. And we'd like to give them some good things.
Tired of the crime, the violence, and the drugs? Well, so are we. Weed and Seed is a national initiative sponsored by the United States Department of Justice that seeks to weed out the bad by actively targeting gang and drug-related crime, and seed in the good by providing programs and resources for youth, families, at-risk individuals, and people returning to the community from incarceration. The Central Lancaster Weed and Seed target area covers 10 square miles, from Avenue H to Avenue J, and from 20th Street West to 30th Street East. Find out more by logging on to weedandseedcentralland.org or join us to celebrate the launch of the Central Lancaster Weed and Seed program on March 18th at 6 p.m. in the Lancaster City Council Chambers, located at 44933 Fern Avenue, just north of Lancaster Boulevard. Find out how Weed and Seed will make Lancaster a better, safer, and more enjoyable place to live, work, and play. Brought to you by Paving the Way Foundation in partnership with the City of Lancaster and the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. Sponsored by the United States Department of Justice.
Nice, huh? I want to thank Megan for that.
Very good.
Wonderful. She is an absolute blessing. That website as well as that PSA, we will be in the community. We are doing a, what are we doing on the 24th?
What are we doing on the 24th?
Interview. We're doing an interview on the...
No, we're going to go in and we're going to survey the neighborhood.
No, we're going to do the radio thing. We're stand-up. The radio. We're doing, tell us.
Oh, we're going to do a radio show on the 24th, yes.
There you go.
Mitchell Chase,
See,
yes.
Mitchell Chase.
Yes.
Yes, we are. So we are welcoming you to join us. We will have sign-up committees, sign-up sheets outside. We are looking for your support. If you have friends in the community, if you're talking about there needs to be a change, please come out and be the change. We need support. We need to have your opinions. We could stand here and tell you what the community needs all day, but we need to have support from the community so that we know exactly what needs to be done and how it can be put on best. Are we done?
We're almost done. Yes, Janie's right. You know, it's quality of life in our communities, and it's not what we think your quality of life should be. It's what you think, what you believe your community should look like. And it's a partnership. Just like Janie and I, we've worked on this thing for 2 years. The community needs to step up and work with us now as long as we can throughout the entire grant and beyond to do this. Okay, we can do it. We've done this. I know we can move forward, and we're going to be successful. I know it.
5 years, the initiative is 5 years. The goal is to, at the end of that 5 years, to not have us do it, but to have the community take it forward from there and make it actually a part of what the community is. So we're looking for your help. Thank you for coming out also.
Thank you, and on behalf of the Department of Justice and the U.S. Attorney's Office, I would like to welcome you to the Weed and Seed family. This started in approximately 1991 with a few select sites throughout the United States. Now we're up to approximately 293 nationally. Besides that, we have about 95 which are graduated sites, which means they've gone through the 5 years, they've had their funding, but they're continuing and they get the extra benefits of a Weed and Seed site, training, assistance, going to conference, and the Office of the Community Capacity Development Office pays for this. Now, the only bad thing I want to say about Weed and Seed is that you have to live in a high crime area. But we will get rid of it. And when you're not a Weed and Seed site anymore, hopefully because you've cut down the crime to minimal. That's what we're striving for. Then we'll take another target area. Unfortunately, we can only handle anywhere from 3,500. They say 50,000. But that's a very, very large part of the population to try to do services and work with. The unique thing about Weed and Seed is that we require and want 25% residents to participate in the steering committee, in the strategies, along with law enforcement. You know, some cities, some communities can't work with law enforcement as partners. They see them as too different, too demanding, and they just don't want to work with them. I had a site that didn't want their officers from LAPD to come to the steering committee meetings in uniform because it was too aggressive, they said. No, we have to learn. They're part of our community. We work with them. We work with law enforcement. We have to. And without residents and law enforcement, we can't do anything. And the other thing, the reason you need residents is that you should be proud of where you live, and you want change, and you want to make it better, and that's why we're here. Along with Ms. Bolden, who had a site in South Los Angeles, and she came out here, and she started talking about Weed and Seed, found Janie, they made a call, I started coming to the meetings. You know what, you have to ask. The worst you can say is, no, we don't do anything, or whatever. Then you go find something else. But really, I'm very proud to be working with the city of Lancaster. A lot of people say, you know, they leave us alone. The LA County just throws us. We're so far away and whatever. Our district covers San Bernardino County, Riverside County, Orange County, LA County, Ventura County, and San Luis Obispo County. So I have a long road to travel throughout my Weed and Seed sites. But let me tell you, I'm very happy to be here, and good luck, and let's make this a successful run so we won't have to have Weed and Seed here. And if you have any questions, I'm always available. I don't know whether I'll give you, you can always call me at the U.S. Attorney's Office downtown. Ask for me, and I'll answer any questions you have. You can go on the CCDO website. Just go to your search engine, your computer, CCDO, and look under Weed and Seed, and you can see how it works. Before you call me, try to look at that, and I'll answer any questions you have. Again, thanks, but we're going to get rid of this crime thing, okay? Thank you.
Thank you very much. I don't know if I deserve all the plaudits that have been attributed to me, but I come tonight to bring greetings from Grace Denton, who is a law enforcement coordinator, retired, and Faith Baker from Washington, D.C., who is the Deputy Director of the Community Capacity Development Department and also works with the Department of Justice. They couldn't be here tonight, so they asked me to stand in for them. The Gwen Bolden Foundation was a recipient of the Weed and Seed grant. And how we got started was then Councilman, now Supervisor, Mark Ridley Thomas, had a check for $95,000. And no one would take the check because no one wanted to work with LAPD. So, no one, not one of the organizations in LA. So they called us and asked us if we would take the check. And we said, indeed, we would. And we would start a Weed and Seed site. And we did, right there in Leimert Park. And we've been there for 30 years. So I wanted to share that with you. And we did get the grant for 10 years. And it's a wonderful grant. It's a partnership grant. You have to work together. Cannot be separate units working separately. Won't work. Police department, drug department, community, everybody has to work together. And as my friend Mr. Marquez said, that there's funding. Well, the funding is not maybe what it can be, and it does increase, right, Ted?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. But I'm on the Sustainability Committee with Paving the Way Foundation. That means we have to go out and get other grants so we can survive. Because after this 5-year period, you don't want all the programs to die. You want the programs to thrive and keep going. So you need additional funding. So I'm going to work with Janie on the Sustainability Committee. And I'd like to have some volunteers to work with us Now, I noticed we didn't say anything about safe havens. We need safe havens. And safe havens are places where activities for youth, adults take place. And I believe Agape Community Church has been mentioned as one of the possible safe havens. But we need community to work with us. We need people to partner. We need people on the steering committee. And even though I'm 84 years old, in September, and I'm a former lieutenant junior grade in the U.S. Navy. I was one of the first African women they commissioned in the 50s, and I'm very proud of that. And I want to tell you that I'm going to hang in there with this community and hang in with Janie. And the words of encouragement are serenity, courage, and wisdom. God bless.
Good evening, everyone. I guess we can figure out how is basketball tied into the strategy of Weed and Seed. Basically, it's not a regular basketball league. It's designed to be on Friday nights from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. in the morning. The idea is to get our young people off the street doing something positive during the peak hours of crime activity. They can kind of get in trouble. And so midnight basketball is all over the country in a lot of the projects in the very low income, high crime areas. And so I was like, well, you know what, this is perfect. I know a lot of young gang members. I know a lot of young men who love to play basketball. This is our more opportunity to get them into our facility and talk about life, talk about education, talk about job opportunity and training. So before they can play basketball, they have to commit to a 1-hour education workshop before they can play basketball. If you do not show up for the workshop, you can't play basketball that night. And so we get these young men and women, we have women in the league also, to come out and play a very high competitive basketball. But we focus on, like I said, why don't you have a job? Why you didn't finish high school? These are the strategies kind of like weed out their barriers to help seed them positive changes into their lives, to help them make better changes and become better people, because they can do community service projects in the community. We focus on building houses, focus on job training. There's so many things they can do what they don't know about. A lot of them feel that I just don't know, I don't have any options. So our job, our main thing is to give them those options and educate them on what they have in this community here, not in L.A. This is not L.A., this is Lancaster, not L.A. We don't need to make this L.A. That's our first thing. We need to make this is better than L.A. That's why we all came here. And so we try to focus on a lot of those things. We try to focus on a lot of those things to make them become better people. Our strategy is to build them, we said, one block at a time, but one individual at a time. We want to mentor them and try to instill in them a sense of community, a sense of integrity and responsibility and accountability for their own actions. So this is not about basketball. That's just one thing. It's a very high competitive league, though. You can't just get in the league without being a good basketball player. You know, but everyone who signs up plays at least 10 minutes a game. So that's why we can get from a highly skilled player to a player who barely knows anything about basketball. And the goal is to get mentored. We need young men and women to be coaches. If you like basketball, you want to coach, you want to mentor, you want to come out and speak to them about your business, about education, about your own experiences, give us a call. Like I said, we need people to fill that first hour workshop. Okay, it's all about case managing and life skills, not really about basketball. Just a carrot to get them to the gym. And they bring their family. We had so many young men bringing their girlfriends and their kids, and we had to start creating opportunities for the kids. We had 150 people watching the game and 120 players in the league for midnight basketball. We expect to be much better this time around because we have the law enforcement, the mayors behind us. We have so many community members behind us, and Janie's leading the way. And so we know this will work. It's worked everywhere around the country. We need to put all efforts into it, recruit the players, and be involved. Thank you very much.
You know, there's a couple things I'd like to add to this, and that is that this program to me does not excite me because we're getting rid of crime. That's not what excites me about this program. I know how to get rid of crime. First, I got to create a situation where I got a bunch of criminals, right? And then we got the best sheriff's department, the best police department in the entire country. They know how to get rid of the criminals, right? That's not what this program's about. We got to stop doing it that way. You know, I mean, we've got our prisons so full, the warden will tell you, our new warden, why don't you stand up and say hello? Her prison is so full, she doesn't know what to do with them all. I mean, the federal government said you got to let a bunch of them go, right? We know how to get criminals, and we know how to get rid of them. What this program is about is creating young men and women who don't have any desire to be a criminal, right? That are going to take pride in living in Lancaster. You know, last week I've been to cities where the people are just so proud of their city. And I can see that is in us in Lancaster, you know, but it has to be something we do with our young people, that they are so proud of the city they wouldn't think of harming it. And that's what this program is really about. It's about creating prideful young men and women who are going to be contributing to this community every day that they're here. It's also, you know, I hate that term, midnight basketball. I hate it. Because, you know, there's some people in my political party that didn't understand it as a result. This is a training program. That's what it is. And the people in the training program also play basketball late at night. The basketball is not a function of this program. It's the training of young men and women that is so exciting. And next time we ask for the people that are the staff of Lancaster to stand up, we can all stand up, because we're all going to be working in this program. And it's not something that's hard, it's something that's exciting. You know, my life has never been as full as it's been in the last 2 years because of being involved in growing a community. And I'm sure everybody here is going to feel the same way if you don't already. Thank you for coming. The staff will be here to answer any of your questions. Hang around, get something to eat, and let's just talk, okay? Thank you.
The vibrant communities are communities where we have a lot of small groups and a lot of small group involvement. Now, in order to do that, you got to give up some control to these small groups, and I'm willing to do that. You know, let them decide the best way to do these things, as long as we're all focused on the same result, and that is a safe place to grow our families.